What if one of the clear signs that love is becoming real is that people start making plans around it? Not just feelings or occasional hookups, not just desires, not just stolen time, but actual plans. Because at this point in the Cottage episode, and I'm doing this mini-series on just the Cottage episode, Shane and Ilya aren't just beginning to reveal how they feel. They're starting to imagine what life could really look like if they stop pretending this is temporary. And that's a big shift. Welcome to the Good Life Lab, where queer stories meet the science and psychology of the good life. Hi, I'm Dr. Dave. I'm a therapist, positive psychology researcher, and college professor turned content creator. And this channel is all about providing you clues, tools, and tales, stories to help improve your life in some way. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. I'm about 300 subscribers away from my milestone of 1,000. So I'd really appreciate it if you take a second to subscribe. And also, if you're new here, I'm doing this Compass Quest challenge that could turn into some prizes for you. So I'm providing clues throughout these episodes for the month of March. And by the end of the month of March, you collect a few clues and submit them for a chance to win one of 3 prizes. So please follow along in this episode, but also look at the description below where I provide more details about the contest. So today I'm going through 3 more clues in the Cottage episode. We've counted down from 33, now we're 18. So we're at Cottage Clue number 18, where Ilya, we find, is a planner.
I could marry Svetlana. She's American, would be easy citizenship. She would do it.
One of the more quiet reveals in this episode is that we find that Ilya is not just impulsive and romantic or sexual. He's a planner. He thinks ahead. He's starting to think about the future of their relationship. That matters because planning is one of the first signs that things are moving beyond fantasy to potential reality in the future. Obviously, when something's casual, you don't think very far ahead. You just enjoy it for the moment. You maybe keep it compartmentalized and hope that it continues, but you don't really plan a long-term future for it. But when something really matters to you, your mind starts working on it. How can I keep this going? How can I make it work long term? And that's what Ilya is starting to do in these scenes. He's starting to hint at things that he could do. He could change teams. He could marry Svetlana. Things that make it easier for them to be together. And from a positive psychology perspective, my field, that's part of what hope really is. Imagining a future that you want, and then also beginning to mark out a path toward that future. So when Ilya starts talking about the future for their relationship and ideas that he has, it's moving beyond passion and intensity. He's talking about possibility, about planning the future. All right, Cottage Clue Revealed number 17. Ilya has a problem, and he never, ever wants this problem to go away. You know the scene where they're on the couch together, touching toes, and they're trying to figure out what to do next.
Do you want that problem to go away?
I don't ever want that problem to ever go away.
That line means so much because once you speak that kind of thing, once you admit it, you're no longer just enjoying something. You can tell he's more attached, more invested in it, afraid of losing it, and that it being Shane. Once you say, I don't want this problem to go away, I don't want you to go away, you're telling the truth about hope, fear, and emotional stakes. That's one of the deepest clues in any relationship. Not just, I want this, but I don't want to lose this. Cottage Clue Revealed number 16. Shane has another idea. So this is where they're in bed together, and he wakes Ilya up and begins to share, like, we can change the narrative kind of thing. He comes up with the idea for Ilya to take the position in Ottawa, I believe, and to be closer together, and they start this charity together. And this, again, is where the whole relationship shifts, because now the dream is no longer just emotional, it's becoming practical. And practical love is powerful. A lot of stories stop at the declaration, but what makes this feel real is that Shane starts asking, what would it actually take to make this work? And in relationship science, that matters a lot. The strongest relationships aren't built on emotion alone. They're built on shared meaning, shared goals, shared plans, and a shared life. And Shane's idea for the future reveals that he's no longer just caught up in how he feels. He wants to build a life together, and that's an important reveal. And this whole section of the Cottage episode makes me think of the difference between intensity and intentionality. Intensity says, I feel a lot, I feel strongly, I feel passionate. Intentionality says, I want to build something with this, I want to make something of it. And a good life usually takes both. Emotion matters, desire matters, passion matters. But when we start organizing our energy, our time, our future around something, that's usually a sign something has moved from just fantasy to a true value. And values are directional for us. And that's where the compass idea comes in. Because the clues don't just tell us how we feel, although our desires can be a sign, they begin to provide direction for our future. And one of the biggest clues that something really matters to us is that you start making plans around it. And this is where these scenes from the Cottage episode mean something to me as well in my life. And I can remember a time early on in my relationship with my partner, probably within the first year, we had a fight, a pretty major fight, and just a question mark about whether or not we can make it work. Are we too different to really make it work? And I remember laying in bed with him and looking over at him, and he just looked so sad. And he said to me, I don't really want to break up because I don't think I'll be able to find somebody like you. And that alone just, it's like, okay, let's make it work out. I think that's probably what happened. He has this way of saying things out of the blue in these moments of even conflict that I don't think he realizes the positive impact they have on me, but it makes me feel like he's in it. He wants to be in it for the future. That meant a lot to me, not just because it was affectionate, but that it revealed or showed long-term commitment, that he had a desire to be with me well into the future, a willingness to stay in it, to repair things that go wrong, to build around what mattered. And that's where I think Shane and Ilya, what you see in these scenes, they're not just sharing feelings for each other, which they are, how they like each other and how they are falling in love with each other, but they're building their life around these feelings as well. So I want to end with this question for you. What clues are you seeing that are mattering more to you and that you're willing to or wanting to make plans around them? So what are the messages and everyday events that are coming to you maybe over this last month? What are the signs, internal and external, that are showing you need to make some plans in a certain direction? What's rising to the surface for you in your dreams and relationships that you can't ignore anymore, that you have to start to make plans around them? And so again, the purpose of this month, of these episodes around finding clues that are revealed in heated rivalry, but also in your life, are really just that, is learning to pay attention to the clues that life has for you. Feelings can be signs of those clues, but that also you're starting to see a need to do something about those feelings and experiences and reveals in your life. And if you're following along in the Compass Quest contest for the month of March, just a quick reminder about the contest, you are collecting clues that I provide in these episodes, but occasionally I will also point you to Substack. And so that's this case. So there's a line in Substack, and it starts with, and truth be told, unbeknownst to even me at the time, I want you to find the end of that clue in Substack. I'll give you specific instructions for where to find that below in my description, so you have an exact place to look, so you're not looking all over the place. And if you find it, save it, collect it with the other clues that I'm providing, and be prepared to submit those clues. I think it's March 29th is when I open that door for you to begin to submit your clues for a chance to win a prize. And again, if this episode resonated with you and looking for clues in the Heated Rivalry series, but also in your own life, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I'm just a little bit away from my 1,000 subscriber mark, and it tells me I want to continue to create this content, so it just gives me direction to do that. So I'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe. In the meantime, enjoy the Compass Quest hunt, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.